Hello and welcome back to Idle Kingdom Defense. So today is another special edition. It's a widescreen format, and that's because widescreen gave me a very important feature. Now, if you saw yesterday's update, you have an idea what happened. But for those who haven't, we will complete the expedition while I hold you in suspense. Or you could go to yesterday's video, or you could fast forward. I mean, it's really up to you. But the idea is we're going to do the expedition first, get this out of the way, and then we will discuss how the widescreen format changed the game. So as always, I will be primarily after weapon stones and shining scrolls here, that's it. Everything else isn't of any value to me. I will say this, outside of the black bars, I do like how ultra wide generally looks. Honestly, I like so I will be very clear. For farming, I return to the standard format because really the additional screen real estate when you're farming stages isn't any good. It just takes the monsters a couple extra seconds to run to you, and every stage with a couple extra seconds just means you're farming less. And so it's not a benefit. It's only a benefit when you're pushing. I didn't need to do that. I shouldn't have done that. At least I stopped myself. So keep that in mind. Will we get the stones? Ooh, very nice. Scrolls and stones. So keep that in mind. You realize that this is specifically for pushing only. This is not for general gameplay. This is specifically designed to help you in very specific scenarios, which we will cover shortly because this... Now I won't say, like, for 9.6, I felt like this was mandatory. Like, I couldn't figure out another way to do it. For 9.10, I don't think it was mandatory. But it does make it so much easier having that additional visibility. And again, we are going to talk about that with a demonstration shortly. Alright, we're almost done here. So let's finish up with the dragon, and then I promise I will show you what happened today. And again, if you are a diligent viewer of this channel, you probably have a pretty good idea, because there was really only one possibility that could have happened today to kind of put the nail in the coffin. But I don't want to spoil too much. Besides, the element of surprise is always surprising. Alright, so we're almost done here. We have 2 more sweeps. Again, I can't get over how much... I want to be very clear, I like the way this looks. But the reason I chose this was strictly 100% about functionality. And generally, farming does not help this functionality. Alright, so I believe that's everybody. Now today was Gear Seal Day, so I swept 15 times here and bought 5 seals. You can verify that over here. And now we're going to talk about what I've been withholding from you. So if you happen to go to Total War, you will notice something very special. I have finally cleared 9.10. Now again, I will emphasize that I don't believe that this was necessary to clear 9.10. I think you could have done it the other way. It did take me a number of tries regardless, just to kind of get the timing right. However, I will 100% say that this does make it easier. And to illustrate that, we will be headed into King's Ruins. Now I need to set my team up for King's Ruins, so we're going to do that really quick. And I learned eventually that it's better to click the slot you want to replace than it is to click over here. Mostly because if I click this, it switches to warriors. If I click this, it switches to them. And I don't have to switch here, click, it's better. Alright, so into King's Ruin, we will do the first stage, and I will show you why it's so different. Alright, so first, you will notice that the warriors have not done anything until they cross this line here. This line here is called the flag point line. The interesting thing is, all this extra screen real estate, let me grab Evan, you can use to your advantage. So for example, I see all that coming right there. If I want the warriors to pick it up, I can freeze and kind of use that to my advantage to help herd the monsters because of this extra visibility on the right side, so that my warriors will pick up more of the monsters. It's incredible. You don't really see the effect here as much because, number one, if you were really trying to do that, you would keep auto off, you would not have fast forward, and so there's a lot of kind of gamemanship in that. I don't think I'm going to make a video on that. You can just, like, if you actually sit down and try it, you will learn it through experimentation. There's not really, like, again, you just start the match, and you would go Evan, and you would see, oh, okay, you know what, when I clear this one, we'll do the next one, and we'll kind of go into it a little bit more, but again, I'm not making a separate video on it, because it's not, that to me isn't the tip. To me, the tip is just how having this extra visibility lets you kind of figure out where stuff is coming, and this wasn't really a great stage for that, and it's much more around expeditions. Well, maybe we should have done expedition, because expedition and Total War have like the kind of waves, and because they come in waves, you can kind of see, and you have this extra visibility on the right of what is coming and when. You can use Evan's attack and Marion's attack to slow things appropriately, so your warriors will, you know what, do their damn job and pick things up. So, I mean, again, this is not really a challenge for Christian at this point. But this kind of emphasizes why I want to get Marion up as well, because depending on 1 DPS, it sounds like amazing on paper. It kind of sucks in execution. Because basically, whatever Christian's attack, there's nobody that can finish off what Christian has weakened. So Christian attacks things, goes to attack something else. Nobody else, like it's not so bad here, because they can still contribute. On other stages, it's terrible. Alright, so we're just going to show the next stage, and we're not going to do the whole stage. We're going to turn this off, we're going to do this, we're going to leave. Oh, that's kind of a bad stage too, because it's dogs. But I'll show you anyways. So, first off, you'll notice that because of the way the game works, we have extra time for the skills to come off cooldown. So let's say we want to catch those dogs, we shoot Evan. Alright, he doesn't really do a great job. We grab Marion, and we can, and see, I use this time to kind of line things up. So like, we know Marion's an instant hit, boom, she hit all those things. And you can kind of plan this to kind of group things up. Now I'm just going to turn this back on, and we're going to leave. But that's kind of one of the advantages you can get there. That said, enough about strategy. Let's get into execution, which is really first we're going to pick our heroes. And I don't know why this resolution is so appealing to me. Even with the black bars, like I don't even notice the black bars. I just like the wideness of it. I don't know why I like it so much. Very strange. I'm a strange man. And regardless, though, I mean, that's the importance of widescreen. Now, this will be the last episode on ultra wide, because having beaten both 910s, I'm pretty much done with Total War for now. I still have to do the Poison and the Fire Fortress, but there's no point until I have juiced up Marion, in my opinion. And again, we're going to cover that in a little bit when we get to Christian, because, well, we can cover it now, but the issue really was, to me, with only Christian being able to kill things, everything I did was entirely dependent on Christian's RNG. There wasn't like, I didn't have like somebody who was close to Christian's damage that could kind of be a backup, you know, and again, I believe Marion, with the way her attack is an excellent backup, because she just hits so much stuff on the screen. Alright, do we grab this? Nope, let's grab that. And grab this. Beautiful. Yeah, 7.2 million ascension zones. I'm just going to Nirvana with that. So first, and we're getting up to 440 attack per level now, so it just keeps going up thanks to the strength of those artifacts. And I'm going to discuss, today I'm going to touch on some of the long-term plans I have for the group. So first off, Christian's artifacts. So I'm going to continue to push Christian's artifacts until they're, yeah, crit damage, very nice, that's what I want to see. We will be pushing them to 420. I picked 420 because it's a really nice number. Everybody should like 420. And really, I have no other reason. I just said, well, you know, 420 sounds good. I was, like, part of it is, too, like, 300, where we're at right now, well, we're almost at, we'll be at by the end of the day, is good. But, again, I feel like I barely beat the 9-10 stages, and I don't like being able to barely beat something. And when I give the ring and the orb, when I pass it down to Marion, I want them to be pretty impactful. To me, you know, 300, I thought it was 250 at first, but I would say 300 is the lowest level of impactfulness. I'd rather take that to 420, make them quite a bit better, and hopefully that means that Marion will be able to. I mean, it's not hopefully, but that does mean that Marion will be able to contribute a lot more. Now I could dismantle these and try to make 2 5-stars, but then I don't like that idea. The second reason for going to 420 is it does give us an opportunity to just naturally make a 5-star ring and a 5-star orb that have crit damage. If that happens while that's, during that process, that's great. I'll slot it on to Marion. We'll just kind of hold off until we get the rings to 420, and then we'll be working on those. So I mean, it was kind of a twofer. Like this allows me some time to not immediately shift focus to trying to make a 4-star. A 5-star uncommon orb and ring, while still growing Christian to keep whittling that King's Ruin time down. It's still a little bit longer than I'd like. Granted, we are under 30 minutes, which is really good with 4, but that does require us using 4 skips. I don't know if I'll ever get it to the time I want to get it because this system requires so much input from the other. The other heroes are useless compared to Christian. That's the whole problem. When things were more balanced, I felt like, we had a better chance of getting the time down. I don't know how to put it into words, but the fact that everything hinges on Christian, that's a lot for one hero. And I don't mean this in like, oh, we're putting some... It's just that when everybody was able to contribute, if Christian screwed up or somebody screwed up, it wasn't as impactful. And by screwed up, it just means a bad attack pattern, right? If Christian goes off and attacks something in a corner, he's not contributing DPS to the total stage. That's not really great. So, again, we'll see how this goes. I'm planning to get to 420. We have a long road ahead of us. Alright, I think that's everything I wanted to cover. I kind of went probably over what I wanted to cover. Oh well. I can be a little wordy. I hope you forgive me for that, especially with something like this. When I talk strategy, I want to have a well-formulated strategy. It's very important to me. Crit resist. Alright, did I get anything for the rings? Alright, we do have a couple ring shots. It's very important for me to have a good long-term strategy, because that's really what this game is built around. Now, one of the things I was reading in the Discord where people were talking, like, once you can get to stage 24,000, you should probably be tough enough to immediately go through and clear King's Ruin, or Total War 10. And having thought about that, they're probably right. Because by the time I'm able to get to 24,000, I should have a team that will just mop up the Total War stages, theoretically. We could still come in for a surprise, but that's what somebody was very optimistic about in the Discord, but, I mean, that's a long ways away, too. Alright, let's see what we get here. And again, 2 terrible rings, nothing special. I mean, we're only looking for crit damage. Crit damage is the only thing that matters right now. We're not looking for anything else. Everything else is just superfluous. And again, if you're building up a ring or an artifact with something other than crit damage, I would advise that you just don't. Crit damage is kind of the backbone of everything. That said, I'm very happy to have Total War. Like, from here on out, the only thing I'd really consider doing is pushing Portal. But I will probably consider pushing Portal and the Expedition when I have Marion situated, when things are better. And by better, I mean I want to have 2 heroes that can contribute, because putting everything on Christian's shoulders, I just don't like it. It makes it too variable to me, because, again, nobody else can contribute, and I don't like that. That's not like a personal preference thing. It just doesn't, like... The whole team contributing seemed to make stages smoother, honestly. And crit damage reduced. Damn it. Well, we got one good one this time. Let me go to 300. Now, 300 was my original point when I was going to say, okay, we're going to try and push these again. So... I did exceed that a little bit, but it was mostly because I just wanted to try it one day. I was like, let's give it a whirl. And I won't say, honestly, things worked out. Again, I think you'd have difficulty doing it at the stage that I did. Not like super difficult, but you'd have some difficulty. I do believe I got lucky in my clear for 9-10. Some of it, health. Some of it was skill, don't get me wrong. Some of it was skill in terms of, like, making sure that my warriors... Like, for example, in the last stage, I had one horseman that made it to the castle. But this one horseman, he got picked up by the golems. So I mean, everything just sort of lined up. So I didn't even have... I didn't even have a horseman sitting pounding on my stage. I mean, my castle. I would consider that very fortuitous. A little close. I missed a little closer than I want to be. And so we got 1 crit damage, 2 crit damage reduced. Boo. Boo with me. Boo. We don't want that. We want crit damage. Alright, so I have 2. I will probably try to keep some 4-star in stock, maybe in the future. Mostly because it just makes the sweeping easier. But as you can see, I trained out all the crystals. We have basically no artifacts left. These are all 5-star. And we have the lone 1-star ring for now. I mean, if we go over to her, like I could... I don't even have enough to awaken this, but I will consider re-rolling that for her in the future. Okay, so I forgot to do astrology, so we'll do that now. So that's kind of the state of the game. Oh, what? A double and then follows up by... Oh, that's very nice. Now, going forward, like, I did do some research because I was talking about making Roderick my warrior. Because I want to have... Christian ideally is going to have a set of 5-star... uncommon 5-star artifacts to level 500. I want a warrior to have the same thing, to level 500. And I want Marion to have her 424 stars. I was looking at what warrior I would pick, and especially with how Total War played out, and so I was thinking of Roderick. But then I realized Roderick has a problem. Roderick's problem is he only attacks what's in front of him. Total War really showed me what a liability that is compared to, say, Vincent. Vincent attacks everything around him, and so after consideration, Vincent is going to be the guy that is going to be my warrior. Sorry, I'm trying to do, like, we're a little low on shards here, so ancient coins, so I'm just going to crush some people into ancient coins. Yep, so Vincent's going to be the guy. He has been nominated to be the guy. Yeah, I like how I can't really precisely get this. Oh, well, I'll do about 2,000 from each one. Oh, okay, Blake, you have plenty. I did actually use Blake in Total War because, again, he has a PB. He is a player-based AoE, similar to Vincent. Not as big as Vincent, I don't think, but I liked it because, again, he can hit people behind him. The problem with people that can only hit things in front of them is once, like, if I slow something and, like, it gets behind them, well, if it gets behind them on Vincent, Vincent will pick it up. Anybody else, they're not picking it up. All right, that's 1,000,000 coins. That should last for a while. So that's why Vincent, with his wide AoE, has won my nomination for warrior. So ideally, that's going to be my team. Christian, followed by Marion, followed by Vincent. Obviously, this is extremely long-term planning. That said, now that we've done Christian's artifacts in this, we're going to do Christian's... Oh, give Christian another level, another 440-ish. I think that was 444. So as you can see, it is slowly creeping up, and this video is a little bit longer than I anticipated, but that's fine. We're going to hit no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go through Christian to the Sanctuary. So if you remember, we left off working on the 1-star runes, 1-star rare runes. All the other runes that are relevant, which is basically attack and crit damage, are now plus 12. So let's see if we get lucky for rare 1-star. And again, you want to start at the back and work your way forward because as you saw when I was working on the crit damage, the 4-star uncommon crit damage, I actually completed the 5-star uncommon weapon one based off of what I got from that summon. because it does summon forward, so it did save me some time. If you work your way backwards, it's not as good. So we do need to acquire 33 of the swords before we try to upgrade the attack, because on a perfect one, that will be the exact amount that we need. Oh, come on. There we go. So 33 or higher. Oh, wait, whoops. Well, come on, come on. Urgh. I take that back. It's plus 10. We only need 23 now. Regardless, it still didn't work. I hate this. I really do hate the drop off from plus 9 to plus 12. It really drives me nuts. Alright, so now we have 23. That's what we need, minimum. Alright, fingers crossed. Yeah! And? Damn it. Okay, now we just need 12. At least we made progress, right? I feel better at least if we get one. Alright, come on. Come on, you can do this. Come on, get to 12. Get to 12. Make me happy. Come on, buddy. Upgrade to 12, please. Come on, you can... Whoops. Come on, you can do it. Upgrade to 12. Enhance for me. Damn it. Alright, we'll try again. We'll try again. We can do this. We can do this. We got... Oh, 9. Will we get enough? 10? Oh. And no, I will not spend the rubies. Alright, let's see. We do have a chance. Will this upgrade? Nope. Well, I mean, at least we got it to plus 11, so we did make some progress. It wasn't like we wasted an entire summon. But as soon as that gets to plus 12, we will refine it and move on to rare 3-star. Hopefully rare 4-star will be pretty easy, and I mean, really, once we get through these, we'll be up on epic already. It's really not going to take too long to get through this. It is a little on the tedious side. We do at least have 2 freebies. We have a 4-star rare freebie and a 4-star epic freebie, and the reason I call them freebies is just because being the only rune for that summoning means that summoning, if you for that summoning state, like 4-star epic, the only eligible rune is the sword. It's really easy you don't get a lot of junk runes. Like right now, like half of the problem is everything I summon for this. Look at how many of these I have. I have 269, and we don't need defense penetration. So I mean, you would just dismantle these, but I just leave them. I obviously don't need the dust. But regardless, we'll continue to grind through this. Now that said, let's look at Christian's updated stats. Crit damage, over 65,298. That is really good. And his attack is up to 10.7, almost 75 million. So we're already closing in on 11 million. So the important part of this is I want to give you an idea of what my stats were with Christian when I actually beat 910. And I will tell you that 910 was harder than I thought it should be. But that really boils down to Christian not having enough attack. So we'll go forward and see how this works out. I mean, honestly, I was disappointed by the amount of 5-star rings and orbs that I got so far. So this might be quite a... I mean, we're going to grab another 120 levels. But this might be a pretty long haul here to try and get some good orbs. That said, it could surprise me. Like, I got super lucky with this orb when I made the switch. And this orb has definitely not disappointed me. And I mean, same thing with this ring. I got really lucky just landing this ring on crit damage. So, we'll see. Now, I do, if things do not work out, I do have a strategy in plan to kind of figure things out from there. That said, we have one last thing to do, and this is also just as important as everything else. And that is, we are going to level up that castle. Now, I'm going to just check. I don't think I got enough for another level for Christian, but no. 25 million, that is a huge amount of soul stones. But we do have some levels for the castle. And again, cannot overstate how important these levels are. The additional castle health definitely helped me. So, 75,676, that gets us to 11.35 million. Very nice. And that said, once again, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to say something in the comments. I do always look forward to your questions. And as always, thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.